Hello, welcome back. Thanks for joining me today so that we can examine some products purchased via a school fundraiser for my niece. I'd love to show you what I decided to purchase, and maybe you might find something interesting. I've missed all of you. I've missed coming and sitting to display or talk to you and really just join you in this quiet time together. As I remove the lid, you're going to notice a beautiful tag. Now this tag was wrapped around the box completely, but I could not wait any longer to utilize these items. I was waiting to show you, and I finally decided I need to taste some of this. So as you can see here, this says Flying Bird Botanicals Good Morning Tea Gift Box. These are the titles of the various teas included in this package, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about each one as we begin to look a little closer. I actually did not drink caffeine in the morning for many years. I quit coffee about 4 or 5 years ago, and that was an intentional choice. Really decided due to trouble sleeping at night, feeling more prone to anxiousness or anxiety, and I will tell you that by cutting out caffeine, specifically coffee, my anxiety symptoms and tendency for insomnia decreased so incredibly significantly. I cannot convey that enough. Now, I went many years without needing that in the morning. However, now that I have a small child, it's a little bit more challenging because the cumulative exhaustion that occurs when you are a parent is relentless. So I started drinking tea, which I had sort of drank on and off, and now I'm becoming a little bit more invested in discovering the right kind of tea for me, and not just by flavors but also the level of caffeine. It can't be too much and it can't be too little, so I'm really trying to find a nice little sweet spot for something warm to consume in the morning that gives me a little bit of a boost, but nothing too substantial that it affects my sleep later in the night, and nothing that makes me feel a little too jittery. In this box we have 4 Artisan Teas, and I have sampled 2 of them, which both have been really nice. Let's start with this first one here. Okay, so this one here is the Lavender Orange Earl Grey. So this is a black tea delicately scented with pure bergamot, enhanced with garden lavender and sweet orange. So this has been really nice. It's been very mild with a nice little herbal tinge, which I really appreciate considering it is a black tea. And here it just tells you the ingredients, the preparation. It's a silken tea bag, and they are 100% compostable. And I just love these tins with this really cute tape here. So you can take a peek inside. I've used all but one of this one, and just for the purpose of of display. I will show you the little tea bag it comes, just like this. So very delicate, very silky, and this diffuses quite nice in hot water. And then you just pop it in the green bin. You can give it a nice smell. You definitely pick up on the lavender significantly by smelling, but well tasting, not so much. Okay? Alright. And the next little tea flavor we have here is the Irish breakfast, one of my favorite types of tea. I really grew up around Irish breakfast tea in particular. It reminds me of my grandparents, my grandfather. This is a black tea, and it has some citrusy top notes that are rich and malty with those malty undertones. It has a hearty sweetness as well. And I would agree with this description actually. And again, this beautiful package here, I think I've had a couple of these. Yeah, so you can see a lot more still inside. I actually love berries tea, and I used to drink that, but I found the caffeine content to be a little too much for me. And can I just say, so you know, in Europe, or specifically in the UK or in England, I would say the UK, not just England, the midday tea time and the rate of consumption of tea, which is black tea, is very interesting to me. And I'm wondering, do you sleep at night? And how do you tolerate such constant caffeine in such a tea-heavy culture? When I would go over there to the UK, I've been many times. I loved having a tea, and I had the best tea at some restaurants over there, and I loved it so much. That's when I was drinking more caffeine, or like I made exceptions because when you're traveling, you need to stay, so you know you need a lot of energy. But it's just not the same making me a little cup here at home. So this one is the English breakfast tea. I have not done this one yet, as you can see. And this is a timeless and comforting classic, round floral notes with a warm, smoky finish. Yeah, so I just always wonder how in a culture so tea-oriented with midday, but I mean, look at me here in America. We're in a huge coffee culture, which I know is really, coffee culture has really grown bigger over there in the UK too. And I suppose I could ask the same question. How do people have coffee midday? I don't know. I really do not know. In fact, when I did, some years ago, my husband and I did our DNA, ancestry DNA, and mine, I already knew all of mine. And we also did the element where you could identify some genetic patterns or tendency towards certain medical conditions. Mine was so spot on about being prone to eczema, very true. But it also said that I am more prone to caffeine sensitivity, which I found really interesting. I have no idea where they gather that data from, but it is very true for me. It also said that my husband struggled to identify faces, which is, there's a name for it. I can't recall it now, but that is also so spot on. And it was like a very big aha moment for him, having seen that written down somewhere as an actual thing, because he does experience it. All right, and the final tea here in our little collection of artisan tea is this ancient sunrise. This says, greet the sunrise with a rare black tea blended with leaves from tea plants as old as 2,000 years. beautiful. I've really appreciated these teas because they're not really strong, and I'm trying to discover why that is, because I use one tea bag, I steep it as directed, and as comparison, these black teas to, for example, Bigelow teas, black teas, whether it's just plain black tea or the black chai, are so much stronger. If anyone has information on the differences around this, I'd love to learn more about it. Okay, so that completes our little exploration of the tea. And let's move on to a couple more items. Here we have an Aspen Holly scented soy candle. So you'll notice that this is the brand, it's Boone Supply. This is a brand that some schools collaborate with that work or function as fundraisers for the school. In my day, we used to have little catalogs and walk door to door asking our neighbors if they wanted to purchase anything. Raise your hand if you remember those days, and then we would deliver all the goods to the people who ordered. And I used to find that quite fun. And upon further reflection, the catalog itself used to give me ASMR. It had a section of wrapping paper samples, sort of like this size. Hold on. Just like the size of a square, and then they were layered on top of each other on one page of the catalog, and you would flip through the samples of wrapping paper, and I remember feeling a feeling about that, which now I can identify as ASMR. And it was usually holiday wrapping paper, and I used to love going around and talking to my neighbors and really getting them to buy things so that I could get the rewards or whatever. Okay, so this is this beautiful candle here encased in a frosted white glass jar container. You can see that the wax itself is white. I believe it's showing up a little bit yellow on camera, but it is pretty white. Soy candle, as we know, burns cleaner than other type of wax, meaning it will not necessarily leave any smoky debris on the wall that sometimes can happen if you're burning a candle against a space, or for example, if it was bigger and burning here, we might notice some smudging on the ceiling, and that's because those general waxes don't burn as clean. And this smells very Christmas-like, very it does have some fir Christmas tree scent, but it does have a sweetness to it, which is obviously the holly. Gifts that give twice the good. So this company obviously really only exists to do the fundraising aspect with schools. All right, and lastly, we have 2 of 3 containers. I don't have the third one here. Of these Welly Bandages or Band-Aids. And I got these because when I last visited my family over the summer, I had a really bad cut, and they had one of these brands of Band-Aids, and I was seriously so impressed with the quality of the Band-Aid. It held up so well for so long, even with showering, with getting wet. I never thought that Band-Aid quality would be something I'd be noticing, but it was. Okay, so these come in a variety of colors. Loving this one here, the Good Vibes. Let's take a look at some of these. So this has not been opened. But you can see the options here. This company has some really fun designs that are not trademarked, you know, like Disney characters or so forth, which I find refreshing. And lots of colors available too, and they're very flexible. So let's see. So this monster one has been opened. I think we can just open this one though. I was hoping we could just slide it out. So it has 48 bandages, or badges as they call them, bravery badges. Let's see if we can get this. Okay, and this says good vibes. And we're going to give it an open. These little containers are so nifty and so cute. You really want to think about how you could reuse them. They would be nice to perhaps hold some bobby pins or hair ties. Or maybe I'm just projecting because I had one case like this for literally since I was in like 7th grade that held all my bobby pins and so forth, and I believe I still have it somewhere. But there's something so warm and fuzzy about that, which I never felt until I got older. Okay, so look at this little band-aid here. It says good vibes, very cute. And it comes, these provide a variety of sizes. Cute little blue rainbow one, I love that. Yeah. And last design, it's all good, multicolored. Very cute. Okay. This is quite tingly itself. Okay. That concludes our video for today. A short viewing of these items I purchased. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you soon again. Bye-bye.